But hockey fans, welcome to a special edition board check. And the reason why it is special is not because we have one of our very own here as a special guest host. It is special because we haven't done one of these in so long. We need to actually get on here and talk hockey. That's kind of part of the show. That's part of the way things work. And for people who don't know, I am Jeremy York from Impact Media. Also from Impact Media, joining us now is uh, number one with a bullet. I guess I don't know. I got to work on that. I don't know.
I have a song in
One
my
of
head
our
now.
other top analysts. Uh, I think I meant to say number one with a gun, and then I thought of bullet with a name on it at the same time, and it just I don't know.
It's all right.
Anyway, his name's John.
Number one with a bullet the line from like a Fallout Boy song, so you're good.
Okay.
Sugar was
Yep. So we
going
got
down.
Jon Watts joining us here. I'm Jeremy York, as we said. We're going to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs in a minute. First, I even told you we're going to start off with some Gladiators news and notes. First off, congratulations to Derek Nesbitt, who has been moved up further into the front office. Don't know his actual title. I know that he is going to be more community involved, community engagement, stuff that he is beyond qualified and good at. He is going to really be trying to get the surrounding area into doing some gladiator related stuff. You've met Nesbitt before. How do you think he'll do with this role?
I mean, I think he's should do pretty well with his role. He's been with the team for for a long time, and I think it definitely will be a good guy to have in the staff there. Um, so sorry, oh, sorry about the noise in the background there. Um, yeah, so yeah, definitely I think with his experience and time on the team should be a really good fit there.
Yeah, and also I think that because I see a lot of the questions, comments, suggestions that people send into this show. Yes, in theory, that may free him up to be a more frequent guest on this show again, which we very much welcome.
Yeah, I mean definitely. I mean, bring it along and come on here. Definitely talk about new role and maybe where the
Yeah,
team go.
yeah, definitely. And last tidbit, can't forget that. Um, the EVP, otherwise known as Jared Youngman, friend of the show. He's not scheduled yet to be a guest on here, but I promise you he will be on here hopefully in the not so distant future. He has been elevated as well. It's good to know they fixed those in the arena. That he is now the president, I guess, of hockey operations. Be the president of the Atlanta Gladiators. Um, I thought this was fantastic. As soon as I saw it break this morning, I sent him a well wish message. I think I'm supposed to be running into him in the very near future. We're still trying to work out the details of that. But let's see, did you make it out to a game this year? I can't remember if you made it to a game or not. You did, didn't you? No, not this year.
I no, not this year. It's been a little bit. I'm gonna get out there.
So you didn't meet Jared. Jared was a lot more visible this year. But just know that the Utah native, even though he's from here now, that's the other big announcement is go Mammoth. Big fan
Yeah,
of that. Heard on the Pat McAfee show the GM of them and the owner of them and the Utah Jazz, Ryan. Uh, I'm not saying it because you should listen to Pat McAfee's show. It's a fantastic show, by the way. You should already be listening to it. But his interview with Ryan was spectacular. And if you're not a fan of that guy after that, then you might want to reevaluate yourself. But yeah, Jared from Utah, he's been over here, kind of running the helm of the ship, kind of steering the ship for a couple years now, and he's doing a fantastic job. I have had a decent amount of conversations with him on and off, just in passing normally. But like I said, I think it's fantastic that he is officially the president of this now, and just to put these rumors to rest as well. That would mean that the Gladiators. A lot of people say, well, that means they're looking for a head coach. Well, no, they have promoted Matt Ginn from assistant coach to the head coach. Ginner is more than qualified. He did a ton of coaching before he the um, joined the ranks of the Gladiators last year. So open positions currently within the Gladiators: assistant coach and vice president. And I just want to put these rumors to rest because we all see the chatter, we all hear the chatter. I don't have a problem, putting my hat into the race for either one of those. Vote for me for your vice president or your assistant coach. I feel like I could do a good job. I may be more qualified to do other things, but not afraid to get out there and do it. So maybe they get me to do one and you to do the other.
I don't know, whatever they need, right?
I mean, I'm not going to put those. I mean, I'm going to put those to rest there and just say that I'm not going to deny that I could be considered for either one of those. So, or you as well. I mean, I I may or may not know enough about it to be able to tell you anything. So, I can't really confirm nor deny our involvement with the search for those positions. So, those are what they are. Hopefully, everybody got a kick out of that. Everybody but the skier behind John. I think he lost them about a mile back. We'll have to go back and get them later. But
Uh-oh.
let's get into the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I want to start with the game that is going on right now that is deeply, deeply disappointing if you are a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. They are currently down 4-0 early in the third to in game number 5. This series is tied to the Florida Panthers, who they have woken up. Basically, where this particular series turned is Florida finally chipped away at Toronto enough and have shoved them around physically to where Toronto is just not doing well with getting shoved around.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at what they played coming in the first round, Panthers pretty dealt with the Lightning fairly easily, 4-1.
Yeah.
Maple Leafs come in, they did 4-2, so they look pretty strong coming in. In this series, they're both kind of battling it out, 2-2. I don't know, but I don't know. Whatever happened tonight, I don't know. The Maple Leafs forgot they were playing, or the Panthers
I
figured it out.
well, you said that. So I went and got the calendar. I went and got the calendar out, and I was trying to see. I was this terrible trying to see this, but I was trying to see whose job it was to tell the Maple Leafs they had a game tonight. And unfortunately, that falls on me. I was supposed to tell Toronto that they had a game tonight. So I apologize to the Maple Leafs and the organization. That's my bad. I was supposed to tell you that Game 5 was tonight. I don't. Maybe they thought it was tomorrow morning. I don't know what happened there. Miscommunication. So my bad. That was on me. It was my responsibility.
Well, I mean, you are wearing a Hurricane shirt, so maybe you were focused on the game tomorrow night.
It could be.
Where,
The
well, I mean,
the Leaf
no,
jersey is hanging up across the room from me, but it's not currently on. So
I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight in any of these fights, so it couldn't have been me. So
now your dogs went home earlier. That was we'll get
yeah,
into those in a minute.
yeah,
I mean, it
but
ain't that it's not that Toronto is completely out of this. I don't wow, I just went to a whole different dialect there. It's not that they're out of this. I mean, they may be out of this game, but there's still 2 games to play. It's
yep.
it's it it's just like when everybody in the baseball realm knows about the Buckner boot that allowed the Mets to win that game. Well, that wasn't the deciding game of the World Series. That was game 6, if I'm not mistaken. They still had to play game 7 like a day or
Yep.
so later. So the Red Sox had an entire game that they could have completely just flipped the script, won it, and raised the trophy. And they blew that one too. So when the Maple Leafs here, you're potentially gonna be down 3-2. I believe game. Do we know? Let me look that up. Game 6 is in Florida. Okay, that's going to be a little rough, but you got to win game 6, and then game 7 is going to be right back where you're at right now. Um, that's you got to get one game at a time. You finish this one out. If you get a chance to get back in it, great. There's 15 minutes left or so. If you got a goal every 3 or 4 minutes until the end, you're going to be in it. But you got to win game 6 at this point, and that gets you to game 7. And at game 7, you win game 7 at home, and you move on. You have to take it one game at a time.
Yep. I mean, apologize that I can't remember which game it was we were watching the other night where it's tied up going to the very end, and guy gets the puck, goes around two players, and goes next to the goalie and just shoots for it. And he wasn't going to make it, but the opposing guy stuck his stick in there, and he scored a goal with point 0.4 seconds left to win the game. So I mean, anything can really happen. You just so I mean,
Oddly
yeah, it
enough,
would be crazy to score more goals in
oh yeah.
13, whatever.
Well,
But
and
I mean,
oddly enough,
technically,
you bring that up, and that was the Vegas Golden Knights that did that. Because I remember watching that game, and even my ESPN alerts were saying that they were in overtime, and yet I'm watching the game, and I'm like, well, there's still seconds left on the clock, and he goes skating in, pops it in. I was like, the game's over, right? I just saw him score. But oddly enough, too, that's the only game of this series that the Golden Knights have won. They are down 3-1 in the series to Edmonton right now, who are being carried by gosh, let me try to think of the name of those players. There's a Leon Draisaitl, I think is. I want to get his name correctly, and a Connor McDavid. I think they're new guys. I think they're from Mars or someplace like that. But those two are carrying their team, and when you got two guys that have about 20 points in a round and a half, there's just not a lot you can do about it. Just Vegas can't find the firepower, and I think their game is up next. So we could see Toronto lose game 5, and we could see Vegas get eliminated in the same night.
yeah, and like I said earlier, you don't feel like I did after the first round, but yeah, that line and the Oilers. I mean, McDavid, Draisaitl. For some reason, in my head it keeps. I hear Draisaitl.
Um,
I think it's
who
Bouchard.
who else is on there with them? It's I know him. I think he used to play with Nashville. He used to play I think he used to play in Toronto. If it's the guy I'm thinking, where is that? That he probably scored in one of these games. So if not, I will look at what is his name. Hyman. I think it was Zach Hyman. Zach
Yes,
Hyman
that's
is
it. That was
a
one of
heck
the
of a player. I knew Toronto messed up when they let him go. Like I said, I think he played a little bit with Nashville. He's played at a couple other No, was it Carolina or Nashville? He played with one of them. I think he played with Nashville. But he has found a home in Edmonton. Normally, he's the third part of that line, and at any given point, the three of them can have 6, 8, 10 points in a game.
Yeah. What I was thinking was Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. I think I said Bouchard. Yeah, Evan Bouchard.
Yep.
And Nugent Hopkins is the line I was watching the other night.
Oh, Nuge.
Um,
Can't forget the Nuge.
I mean, all choked up on that one. Um, yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, and they were even being able to switch out, kind of coming back and forth, and leaving McDavid and Draisaitl in there, and switching in other players, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it works. So I mean, it's clear why. I mean, they're up 3-1. I mean, nothing against Golden Knights. I mean, we've seen the Golden Knights over the last several years what they can do, and I mean, they came in this the playoffs ranked number one, so clearly they're doing something, but not in this series,
I just
unfortunately.
noticed it. I just noticed a trend. Of all the number one seeds that all advanced, all four did advance. Toronto is actually the one sitting the best with 2 wins, even though they're about to be down 3-2. Winnipeg is down 3-1 to Dallas. We're going to get into them in a minute. The Vegas Golden Knights, arguably the first or second best team in the league this year, are down 3-1 to Edmonton. And we're going to talk about here soon how the Hurricanes are up 3-1 on arguably the best team in the league this year, Ovechkin and the Capitals. So number one seed's not looking good the second round.
Definitely not. Seeing as how another goal has been scored in the Maple Leafs Panthers game, and it was not Toronto. It's now 5-0.
I wonder if Justin Bieber's there. Is he going to write a song about it? I mean, Taylor Swift writes it about failed relationships. Justin Bieber could write album on album on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he already mentions Toronto everywhere and over all his other songs. So why not?
He might not after this. He might start talking about Windsor, Ontario, or something. I don't know.
I guess it's hockey down in Florida.
Yeah, yeah, he might live down that way nowadays. But obviously, the Golden Knights have got to sweep the rest of the series. Not unheard
Yep.
of. Just to look, how's that series? Tonight is in Vegas. Then Game 6 is today. Wednesday is Friday in Edmonton, and if it gets to that, and if it goes to Game 7, that is back in Vegas on Sunday. So if you're not out of it, plenty of teams have come back and did this, and so they've just to me, you can rely on Mark Stone's leadership if you're Vegas, but you can't rely on him to carry you the way that McDavid and Draisaitl do, or the way that Rantanen is doing in Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be tough. I mean, you got to win the same amount of, you have to win all the remaining games, the same amount of games you've lost so far.
I mean,
The line, I mean, like I said, it could happen, but I mean, they're lined right now in Vegas at -120 for tonight. Um, but,
yeah,
Winnipeg's
they
also
probably win tonight.
-120, and even Carolina is the underdog tonight, apparently, according to odds at -170. So you never know, really. I mean, it's easy to pick the guy who's up 3-1, but then they don't on the one on Carolina. So I don't know. It's weird bets.
Maybe it's just a little closeness bias or something like that. But just because you're a heavy favorite doesn't mean it works out in your favor. 28-3.
Ouch. Oh, ouch. I
I'm
mean,
usually one of the first people to say, if you want people to stop talking about it, quit bringing it up. So that'll be the only time I say that for at least maybe till October or till September. Sorry, Atlanta and Falcons fans on that one, but I mean, you could be the heavy favorite, and the whole ship ends up hitting an iceberg, and you're at the bottom of the ocean. Things happen. You can't rest on your laurels of the fact that, hey, we're the heavy favorite. All we got to do is just show up. Nope. Showing up is half the battle. I tell people that every day when you ask them how they're doing. Well, I showed up, or well, I'm here. That's half the battle. There's a lot of people that don't even get that far. So you got to show up, and then you got to do something. And that's what Vegas has got to do tonight. I don't know if I'm Toronto. I'm not sure if there's enough time to show up tonight. You got to show up the rest of the time. But let's go into the Dallas Winnipeg series. We'll finish up with Carolina just for home biasness there.
yep.
Winnipeg. I'll be honest. This is one of the first years since, probably one of the first years since the new incarnation of Winnipeg that I have actually cheered for them to win. I wanted them to beat Dallas. I thought they could beat Dallas. Last time I cheered for Winnipeg, I'm pretty sure was their first incarnation, probably. But they have ran into a buzzsaw known as, forgot his first name, but Rantanen, who has decided that he just wants to score every goal there ever was.
That
Miko.
Nico. Yep.
Miko Rantanen, who I think they said, what, there's three, four, that's 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, of the 20 goals or so that Dallas has scored this year, he has had either the goal or the assist for like 18. It's something like that.
Yeah. I think I'm looking at the stats, and no, it's for Dallas and over the season. I mean, we'll talk about Rantanen, but I mean, you have Duchesne, who's the points leader, the assist leader for Dallas. Where I mean, on
Don't
the
do
flip
it
side of
right.
that,
Oh, look at him. Oh, it is. Yeah, there we go. Before he got out of town, made sure
there
to
you go.
donate and pick up that cool. I was okay if I didn't get the hat. This is a killer, just a killer hat. I mean, tell everybody, just a killer hat. But yeah, before he got out of town, Matt Duchene did a lot of charity stuff up in Nashville, and I donated to one of the causes or one of the things he was doing, and they sent me that hat. That's a cool hat. Hated to see him go, but apparently he's doing very similar things in Dallas. Wish him the best. I know everybody in Nashville does as well. I think he still has his house up in Nashville. Um, maybe we'll have to drop by one day next time we're out in Nashville and say hello to some people we know.
Yeah, no, I got definitely people up that way. I got some family up in that area. Well, the wife has some family up in that area. Um, so definitely. What the heck, Toronto? It's 6-0 now, by the way. Um, we said that they didn't score more goals. We weren't talking about the Panthers. Jesus. But
Yeah, let me
anyway,
let me
yeah.
clarify. Let me hold on. Let me look. Since we have been on, yep. All right, I understand that we're down to like 8 or 9 minutes to go in this, but I just want to say, Toronto, you had a game tonight. You were supposed to play tonight. I'm not real sure what else there is to do this time of year in Toronto, but apparently maybe they're at Top Golf or something. I'm not real sure. Also, Top Golf, if you want to be a part of this show, just hit me up. We have no problem telling people about one of the greatest fun things we do.
I don't even play golf, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, which
Clearly,
is why I knew you'd be good at it.
right? I mean, my
You didn't have
co-host,
to unlearn the things that we knew.
right? I mean, my co-host here and our other buddy on one of your other shows know how bad I am at golf. They've seen me out there, and they're still pretty fun.
Actually, you're really not bad. You're like for people that don't know, like, people like me and Jake and even my brother grew up playing golf all the time. We've been playing our whole lives. Doesn't mean we're any good, just means we've been playing that long.
Right.
Uh, we always have a good time. That's what I tell people. Jake definitely better than either one of us. But yeah, we took John out to a range, and actually once we kind of gave you a couple pointers, like not how to do it well, but just like, all right, in golf, think within these parameters and kind of stay in this area, and then just go. And you like kind of find your own groove. And kind of once you found a groove, you had some pretty good strikes going there. So I got to give you credit on that. But you know, does Winnipeg stand a chance? Can they get back in this series?
I don't really honestly seeing that happen at this point. In my honest opinion, I think we have uh,
God, if we
conference
if we
win
take everybody
tomorrow night.
who's basically ahead right now, every team that has 3 wins, we're going to get a conference semifinals of Dallas versus Edmonton, Mikko Rantanen against Connor McDavid, and we're going to get the Florida Panthers versus the Hurricanes. That is a rematch of last year's, I think, conference finals, to which Florida was able to pick up the victory and then go on and hoist the cup. So, wow, that's I'll be honest, that's a pretty good matchup. I'll take any of the groups that are in this now, but yeah, I agree. I think Winnipeg's probably done. I want to give Vegas a chance to. I think they're going to win at least one game. They might win two. I don't know if they win three. That's really hard to win three in a row on any level. Um, Toronto can still battle back. We'll see what goes on there. What happened to the Capitals? Because we tried to do this show from Thursday until now, from last Thursday until now, in between either my schedule or your schedule or random um, acts of the world have made it till right now before we can actually talk about the Stanley Cup. And I was going to say that if anybody can be the buzzsaw for Carolina, it was this Washington team who is tough when they need to be tough. They are scrappy when they need to be scrappy. They can play a finesse game. Like they have all the tools in it. They're not really a one or two uh, style team. They're an all around. They can beat you all kinds of different ways. And then Carolina just has pretty much from the start of the series said we're not real concerned with that you have the overall all-time goal scorer leader. The only thing we're concerned about is how fast we can get you out of the building.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird seeing that, and if they move on, it's going to be weird that we have a Stanley Cup without Ovechkin, and how much this season's kind of following him and what he's done. I mean, I know it's only over his career, but breaking that record. I mean, the guy who's known for scoring goals, and yet we're here 4 games in, and they've only been able to win one. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Maybe they're able to get a game tomorrow night, make it 3-2, and then we'll see from there. But or the Hurricanes just finish it off and just surprise
Yeah, I'm just
everybody.
looking
I
at
mean, not
I'm
surprise,
looking at
but
the goal scorers and it's all over the board for Carolina. So it's not a one person squad. It's everybody is scoring and that is what is gonna really do them the best is you could try to shut down a line, but they have the depth on this Carolina team. They really are three or four lines deep, and their defensive pairs are three lines deep. Where good luck. You try to stop one, and there's three more to come right behind it.
yeah, I mean, that would definitely make a good team there. I mean, if everyone can contribute, then you can't. Looking at the Capitals, okay, well, we need a block of Ovechkin to keep him from scoring. But if we get a team who everyone is scoring, then it doesn't really matter who you're covering. Someone's going to be able to make plays, and
Yeah,
that's what's got him here. Winning, uh, you know, 4-1 over the Devils in the first round, and we might be 4-1 in the second round.
yeah,
Depending on how tomorrow night goes. So, I mean, continuing that strength and the type of play is going to get them pretty far.
yeah. I mean, keep in mind too. I know we got a couple minutes left. This was a Stanley Cup playoff that had no Islanders, no Rangers, had no Boston. Like a lot of the big time, long time stalwarts were nowhere to be seen. The only California team were the Kings, and Edmonton took care of them in 6 games. This was almost like the new guard coming in as to here's the new wave that are no Pittsburgh. There's a just a bunch of different teams that aren't normally in there, and that's just kind of how it's shaped out.
Yeah, it's definitely weird seeing over the time of teams of our past that you're used to that we grew up on seeing. I used to mention Penguins, Yarmer, Yager, Lemieux, and
Yeah,
those kind of people just playing. We don't have. There's no Buffalo Sabres, no Penguins, no
I just saw no Red
Flyers.
Wings, no Detroit.
Yeah, yeah, and then we have some of these teams that have kind of consistently been in there, like the Avalanche, but they lose out in the
Yep,
first round.
yep.
The Wild, kind of newcomers, so to speak. in this kind of game, and they've done decently over the last 3 years. But Vegas, I mean, they're newer and have been doing really well over the last since they came in the league.
Yep.
Um, but here we are sitting how they're sitting. So you don't know. Oilers are a team that, you know, to me, Oilers, I think Gretzky's era. And yeah, here we are. Edmonton's coming back and making a new run. So it's interesting
I mean,
seeing.
there was 5 Canadian teams of the 16. So 5 of the 16 teams were Canadian. Now, granted, 2 of them had to play each other, so one had to go home. But we're about to be down to we're about to be down to just Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, and
That's just crazy.
for for the country who
But
hated the whole thing, but yeah.
I mean, hopefully, as we see fisticuffs breaking out in this game, which is it's. I mean, might as well go down fighting if you're Toronto, or see if you can bait somebody into something. But hopefully, we broke down the first and second round pretty well for you guys. Hopefully, somewhere in between the second and third round, or just into the third round in the finals, the conference finals, we'll try to get back on here and talk a little bit as well. Plus, trying to line up some guests. But it's gonna be fun. BoardCheck, we got all kinds of new stuff coming in the upcoming season as well. But we're gonna finish this one out strong. But any final words before we get out of here?
No, I mean, I was kind of hoping to be this, Panthers Maple Leafs to be a little bit more interesting than it was tonight. We'll see how that goes, but moving on to the next round, and it's definitely, I think we're definitely going to have some fights. What do we and figuratively? Um, so it should be good, going through the rest of this playoffs.
Yep, absolutely. Well, this has been a special edition BoardCheck. Talk about the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Remember, shout out to Gladiators, shout out to the Predators, doing all kinds of fun stuff. We'll have way more updates about them next time around uh, for all the different stuff they have going on. I just want to talk about the big stuff for now. But for Jon Watts, I am Jeremy York. This has been special edition BoardCheck. We will see you guys later. Deuces, gooses. Go watch hockey.